Hello again. Again, I will briefly introduce our panel members so we can get straight into their wisdom and insights. Akanksha Goel, the founder of Unlock Studio, co-founder of Athena Dermatology, Dr. Parul, Thakur, the founder of the Holistic Healing Medical Centre, Dr. Ludmila Vassiliev, and Natasha Litvinov, managing partner of Orchestra Media. So, I wanted to start this one with a quick fire round of answering what is the biggest challenge for a woman CEO? Go.
So, first of all, thank you for having me, Gulf News, and being she. This is my first time actually being talking at a panel, so I'm really excited to be here, especially on International Women's Day. So when it comes to facing challenges as a woman CEO, I think the first thing to remember is that even though we're making developments daily and minutely, and we're very, very fortunate to be in the UAE where women are very included and encouraged and celebrated, I do feel a big challenge is just remembering who we are, because society has quite deep embedded norms on what women should not do or cannot do, or it's not appropriate for them to be doing even now. Slowly we're getting out of that, but I feel like definitely education plays a big role in that. We're very fortunately being able to start, a lot of us, as the same line as men. We come from a good education system. We're able to study with them. We're able to see them, and then we're able to have the same starting line. Because of that, we don't think what we're doing is any more special. We don't think what we're doing is any more harder. We're just doing what we're doing the same way they're doing what they're doing. But a lot of the times, I feel like as women entrepreneurs, we need to believe in ourselves and focus on building a company, a viable, successful company, full of people that will contribute to our growth in whatever capacity that may be, rather than looking at societal norms and the pressure that externally puts on us. So I think definitely half of the challenge is challenging societal norms and what has been already set for us. And then a lot of that is also challenging yourself and looking inwards and thinking, okay, this is what society tells us, or okay, this is what the precedent is, which is slowly changing now, I must emphasize. But it's also, I know I'm capable, or I know I have a dream, and I'm able to pursue it. So that's a big challenge, yeah.
Thank you. Dr. Parul?
Well, for me personally, the biggest challenge has been balancing the demands of entrepreneurship with my clinical responsibilities. There are a lot of female dermatologists in UAE. I think everybody knows that, but there are very few females who are owners of their clinics, and that comes with its special set of problems. I feel we have to be more assertive. We have to be more forceful to be able to build the relationships with the distributors, the contractors, the million other people that we have to work with. I do feel that there is a little bit of an unconscious bias against female owners. We did have a little bit of difficulty, trying to get through to secure fundings. However, it worked out in the end because we bootstrapped and decided to go ahead ourselves. So it really is important to believe in yourselves, regardless of whatever biases you might be facing. I'm a new mom, so for me, it was also a little bit of a challenge trying to balance, the societal expectations, managing a baby, managing the clinic, which is also a baby for me. So yeah, that's the main things that I've faced on a daily basis.
Quite a lot of juggling there. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Dr. Ludmila.
First of all, thank you so much to invite me on Gulf News and BNC. I'm actually a big fan of Gulf News. 30 years I subscribe for Gulf News. And every single patient I suggest to avoid the stress, subscribe to Gulf News. At least you know the news, but you don't see it and you don't get affected emotionally, but you know all of them. At least you cannot see it, and you don't dramatize a lot of picture. What it is Gulf News, it is play a lot of role in society of Emirates. And as far as you know, in every man, in every woman, it is masculine energy and feminine energy. It's not a man or woman, it is energy exists as masculine as feminine. And all the world in 21st century exists actually because men built up such a technology and energy of men to catch, to grasp, to fight, to kill, but the feminine energy to create, to embrace, to develop, to grow, and to care, and to love. But it depends on what type of energy in human, masculine or feminine. You know, so many men is feminine by energy, but they're so creative. And so many women is masculine, and they're not as feminine. As far as we're in 21st century, and technology allowed the life to actually to live much easier, because all of them we are forgotten. We don't need to milk the cow anymore, we don't need to cut the wood, we don't need to ride the horse. Actually, everything belongs to bottom. This is why feminine International Women's Day became a rise, because life became much easier for women. And women have start to have possibility to create activity out of the home, out of the life. But actually, you know, the man is a head of anything, but woman is a neck. Whatever neck turning, head is followed. In every activity, and actually, the woman is the one who creates life. Not even 1, 3, 5, 10, and care about husband. And at home, the boss is a woman, as far as I can.
Thank you, Dr. Ludmila, thank you.
And at business activity, it depends on how you love what you're doing. You don't see challenge, you see only next step what you need to do. But if you don't love what you're doing, definitely you have challenge which you need to overcome, and you need to use masculine power. 21st century, we celebrate International Women's Day, but actually we not celebrate International Men's Day. For that is we are in privileged women, and not in the only point, because the previous evolution both belong to masculine energy. And actually this is why the feminine energy need to now to prove they are capable to do so much.
Thank you
but
so
the
much.
biggest challenge, I like to finalize now, the biggest challenge for me was establish holistic healing medical center as rule and regulation in this country. And it took for me 7 years to develop it, to initiate it, and I became first homeopath. And now back 25 years, we celebrate now 25 years of holistic healing medicine. And holistic actually, it is whole, home, hotel, hospitality. It is whole, when you unite with universal energy. And if you know how to create life, and women can create life, women can create any business, if they love it.
Thanks. Natasha, there's another one there if you want to, just over there.
Is it on? Hello?
Just flick it up. Yep.
Hello, hello?
Yes.
This is still me. New year, new color.
Both are great. Biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge. Very quickly, I'll try to be as quick as possible. I've become a business owner because I've cut myself too many times against the so-called glass ceiling. I was too stubborn. I was not politically correct. I was never fitting in, so to say. And so for me, starting a business 17 years ago was a survival strategy. And then it became an immense growth strategy. So I encourage women to do it. I've encouraged a lot of women to start their own businesses. Some of them are present in this room to support me. The biggest challenge, it's a book. I think we can write a book on challenges, but I think the biggest challenge of a CEO is to find the right balance between intuitive decisions and logical decisions. And over the years of making multiple mistakes and doing all the crazy things that I should have never done and entertaining crazy projects and taking on the customers that I had no business of taking on, I have discovered that intuitive decisions, the one that really, really resonate with your gut or the source, are the correct ones. And the ones that you think about for too long and too hard end up not to be the right decision. So to stick with your intuition throughout the years and learning to act as quickly as possible on your intuitive decisions, this is like building a muscle in your body. This is the challenge, but once you overcome it, everything becomes easier, the flow of the business starts, and you actually become quite successful when you're intuitive.
I love that advice, but I just wanted a quick follow-up there. What happens if someone comes along and says, stop being so impulsive?
Stop being so impulsive.
Or the voice in your head. It doesn't need to be someone else, but what is this like, intuition versus being impulsive?
I think over time you will learn the difference between impulsivity and intuition. The voice is very different. I had a mentor, Clay Mathieu. Clay Mathieu was a founder of Yums, and it was a big American company, one of the largest pet food companies in the world. And he was one of my mentors, and he was an amazing mentor. He sold IAMS to Procter & Gamble for $2.3 billion. And he gave me one of the biggest advice that any mentor has ever given me. He told me, Natasha, the most important thing in business is to decide what not to do, because everything else will organically follow. So the intuitive decisions of not to do are the first ones, because we all want to do everything, and we want to be everything to everyone, and we want to have one service, and then all of a sudden we want to have 25 services because it seems like a good idea at the time. But it's never the right strategy. The right strategy is to become the best at absolutely one thing and one thing only, and to beat the world in that one thing. And once you do that, you know the difference between impulse and intuition. You will know it. You will make a few mistakes here and there, and you will know that your intuition never lies.
Thank you. Dr. Parul, do you have any go-to... I'm asking you because you're juggling the most at the moment, I think. This is just a quick assumption here. Any go-to coping strategies when it all goes pear-shaped?
Oh, I have a lot of them. So I think to begin with, on a daily basis, for me, because there's a lot that goes on in business and in life, practicing mindfulness has been really, really helpful. No matter how busy the day is, I always start with a few breathing techniques, planning the day, a little bit of a gratitude journal. I feel it's also very important to take some short breaks in between, the humdrums of the daily activities at the clinic, just to sort of get yourself together, take a deep breath, look back at what's happening, appreciate what's happening, and then restart, sort of reboot yourself. It's not easy to have a work-life balance with a new clinic, with a new child, with all of those things together. But it is important that we have some amount of work-life balance, and that is something that me and my co-founder, Dr. Akriti, have been very, very careful about starting from the get-go. Whether it's for us, whether it's for our employees, we have always emphasized on having a little bit of work-life balance, no matter how hard things get.
I'm just in awe. Akanksha, I'm interested in knowing how easy it is for you to ask for help. Do you, when you're at the top, do you worry about perceived weakness?
Yes. To put it in short, yes. Because I feel like when you talk about challenges, like you did previously, I think perceived weakness and I think work-life balance are actually the biggest challenges. Especially when you're young and you're seen, or you should have a very aggressive social life, and instead you start to work and have a startup. Definitely, I don't know if weakness is the right word. I think misunderstanding or misperception would be better words to describe it. So, as amateur as it sounds, it might be very relatable to say, a few months ago I was on a flight and I watched this movie called Gran Turismo. And it was a racing car movie. And there was one challenge when the people were racing on the track to win the race. Their coach kept telling them, commit to the curve. And I think for me, committing to that curve is committing to my business. And in my mind, I'm like a horse right now. I'm just seeing straight. So definitely your work-life balance will suffer when you have such a straight vision. But I think, again, coming back to it, it's about how you perceive yourself, how you have positive self-talk at times when people are not talking so positive. And also when you have the determination and the courage to achieve your dream. So that's what I have to say about that. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Dr. Ludmila, work-life balance, what does that mean in practice for a CEO?
You know, for me it doesn't exist work and life balance, because if you love what you're doing, it's not a work anymore. Yes? Okay. For me, work and life, it's not a balance, because if you love what you're doing, it's not a work anymore for you. It is your life, and you don't have boundary between life and work. It is always with you, and if, sorry to say to you, even you cook and you create something. But in case if it is, you don't love what you're doing, it is really hard and really stressful. But that is my suggestion from doctor point of view, from holistic, when you know this, everybody considers that stress exists. Can I just disappoint you? You know darkness does not exist. It's only lack of light. Turn light on, where is darkness? It doesn't exist. Stress.
Like the cup is half full.
Stress doesn't exist. It's only lack of awareness. When you drive first time, can you imagine how you was in stress? And what about now? You drive, you eat, you talk, you think, you navigate, you look at the telephone. For that is, if you do first time and you don't know how to do, definitely it's stressful. But if you know how to do it and you experience in that and you love it, it's not a stress anymore. Actually, it is speed what the people absolutely misunderstand with it, because life hour is so speedy. And the idea is, in 21st century, all the university teaching you how to manage another life to be profitable. But actually, no one university teach you how to manage this life. And this is biological vehicle. This is biological car who need on time to be on service. You need every day and eat and sleep and go to bathroom and start again from the beginning. But if you don't know how to manage your own life, definitely it's stressful. But it is holistic healing, 25 years already in Dubai. And I designed holistic lifestyle, not a diet, because we are only 12% food. 90% we are water. And if you close the nose, this is why breathing is so good for stress relief. If you close the nose, your life set. 4 minutes, you cannot survive. But without food, you can survive 45 days. Without water, only 10. Without air, even 4 minutes. Life needs everything, all the 5 elements. And intuition, actually, it is when you sense life by 5 senses and life function by sensitivity. And at the end, you made your own, because we need to function now. But we, as human, live by our social activity, by logic. This is what the parents and parents of grandparents talk to us, and actually it doesn't work in 21st century. It's not just only upgrade software of logic. And after that, intuition talk to you non-stop what you need to do, because it's orient with you for 5 senses. So that is, it is a lot of interesting, and UAE, it is one of the biggest and greatest place which allowed an innovation and feminine to blossom absolutely. And this is 21st century. We belong to feminine energy, not woman only. Feminine energy, which is create, innovate, and develop, because technology already developed and life has become much easier, not stressful.
We're very lucky. Natasha, I'm going to ask you the biggest question that could probably be asked here. The age-old question. Can we have it all? Do we want it all?
Wow, how did I get the biggest question? Yes and no. First of all, to be really, really good at what we do in business, you have to be somewhat obsessed. Look at all the biggest leaders that you have ever heard of or read about or follow. They are obsessed. They are obsessed about what they do.
And it seems neurodivergent as well.
Yes, exactly. So do they have it all? I don't think so. And at the beginning of the business, you will not have it all. I slept on the floor of my office for the first 6 months. I was definitely neglecting my child, who is somehow turned out to be great in the end. I don't know how that happened. I was not balancing it well, and I was obsessed about what I started, and I was crazy and still am about what I do. So there would be times where you won't have it all. It will have impact on your relationships. It will have impact on your friendships. It will have impact on your health. And it's a choice. It's a choice you make at the beginning. If you're lucky enough and if you do it right, progressing through the journey of your business, you will build something that you can live with in a more balanced manner. You will hire people to do the job that you used to do overnight. You will grow. You'll be able to take trips to Spain and sit in a clinic in detox and strategize, which I do every 6 months, by the way. I check myself in the clinic every 6 months, literally, in the detox clinic, and I just meditate. I eat completely vegan or raw. I fast, and this is where the best strategy come to my mind is when I'm in this place. So the answer is yes and no. At the beginning, I would say no, but throughout the journey, yes, it's achievable.
So the balance is there in the end?
In the end, yes. It can be achieved.
Thanks so much. Unfortunately, we've come to the end of our time again. What I'm hearing is that self-care is the way forward. Thank you, everyone. Please join me in a round of applause for our panelists, Akanksha Goel, Dr. Parul Thakur, Dr. Ludmila Vassiliev, and Natasha Litvinov. Thank you.